That was the Dusty Smurl Band, Mine for a Mile. Those guys are pretty great. They were in the studio not too long ago, actually very long ago. But yeah, you're listening to Lone Star in the mornings. It's 8:34. Happy morning, Montgomery County. It's another sunny day. Well, not another one. I think this is the first sunny day in Conroe and Montgomery County than it's been in a while. I'm sitting here with a special guest, Cindy from the PACN. Cindy, welcome to Mornings of Lone Star.
So glad to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you don't. It's a pleasure for you to be here. Your full name, let me give your full name. Sorry. Cindy Sunday Powell.
Correct.
Is that like you use that all the time? Or
That's it, all the time.
Cindy Sunday. So you just do CSP?
Hardly ever.
Hardly
it's
ever?
Cindy Sunday Powell, except to my husband and kids.
Okay, so CSP, PACN. That's what your little name tag should say. But you're here representing the Pregnancy Assistance Center of Center North. Right?
Correct.
Okay, so you guys have a big event coming up, but I want to get to know you a little bit more before we jump in, if that's all right.
That's great.
Because you're from around here. You're not originally, but you're from here since when? When's the first time you got here?
In 1989.
Oh, wow.
My family moved to the Woodlands area.
Okay.
Yes. I'm originally from the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, but I have been here for 36 years, so I consider myself a native.
I agree with that. So what is there anything different? Do you remember a lot from Pittsburgh, or is it just kind of mesh into what's going on now?
No, I remember an awful lot about Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful city, has great sports teams.
Oh, yeah. I like the hockey team. Well, never mind. I kind of like their rival, Philadelphia.
Oh.
But
okay, so we don't need to talk about
we don't
that.
need to talk about, no, I like it, though. It's a healthy rival. I
Yes.
think it's fantastic when they play together.
Yes,
so,
it is.
But so you're from there, and you moved down here, and you've been working with the PACN for how long?
For 23 years.
Wow.
Long time.
Wow.
Long time. When I started, there were probably 8 churches supporting us, maybe 15 volunteers on a weekly basis, and 3 staff people. And today we have 2 centers, one in the Conroe area, one in the Spring Woodlands area. And we have 130 volunteers on a weekly basis, 17 staff, and 52 churches that support us. So we have really grown.
That's fantastic, because y'all been around here for so long, and we've done a couple PSAs for you guys.
Yes.
If you listeners have been listening to Lone Star, but y'all have a big event coming up, and is this an annual event?
This is. It's our spring annual banquet.
Okay.
And this year it is March 28th. That's a Friday. It's at the Woodlands Marriott Waterway. And the silent auction starts at 6 p.m., dinner at 7. Our keynote speaker this year is Jay Sekulow, and he's Chief Counsel for the American Center for Law and Justice. If you want to know more about him, he has argued before the Supreme Court 12 times. His tagline is faith, family, and freedom. And his website is aclj.org to know more about him.
But more importantly, PACNcommunity.org, right?
PACNcommunity.org, thank you.
I'm just kidding.
Is the way to get tickets or tables. I do have to say they're limited right now, but they're still available. And you could call 936-441-7755. We have a great night that night. We have a jazz duo, we have the silent auction, we have the keynote speaker, and fine dining.
I mean, it sounds like a fun night, and if you miss this year, you can always come back next year, right?
Yes, but I would recommend not missing this year.
Yeah.
He's a fascinating speaker.
Jay Sekulow. Isn't he a radio personality?
He is.
Okay.
He's also on radio.
So he's a competitor of mine, so I don't know if... No, I'm just kidding. He sounds very interesting, and especially with the PACN, if everyone's listening, Pregnancy Assistance Center North. I want to keep saying that so people kind of get what's PACN, what's PACN.
Thank you.
And if you want more information about what PACN is, Pregnancy Assistance Center North, PACNcommunity.org would be the place to go to find out what this organization does in the Montgomery County area, right? Because y'all serve Montgomery County?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's our website. And just to give you a summarization of what we do, we help with pregnancies and sexual health issues. We're medical, so we can do pregnancy testing, STD testing. We also have support groups and classes, and all of our services are at no cost to our clients, and they're confidential. So we see about 7,000 client visits a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I know this is going to be a weird question, but back in 89, do you know how many clients you had?
I was trying to think of that. I think we had about not quite 1,000 a year. Around 700 is what I was recalling.
Well, I bet this banquet kind of brings more attention to what you guys are doing. And since y'all do this annually and you get somebody like Jay Sokolow to be a speaker,
Yes.
that sounds like a great opportunity for more people who have no idea what PACN is to find out more and to understand, especially to help more people.
You're right. In fact, the banquet is about 1/4 of our budget. So the revenue from that funds about 1/4 of our budget. We are a 501c3, so all contributions are tax deductible. And exciting news that is happening at the Pregnancy Center. Just a year ago, a little over a year ago, we were in a 2,400 square foot building. And the banquet last year really promoted an expansion to where we are now. We have 9,000 square feet, and we are expanding into doing, again, at no cost to our clients, well woman exams.
Well woman exams?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
This is family radio. I'm not going to go into that.
Well, when you say well, is that an acronym or is that like...
It's for women's annual exams.
Okay. Oh, okay. I understand what that is now.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. Hopefully we will be open to doing that at the end of the third quarter.
Okay.
Yes.
So y'all's plan is to keep expanding, and I'm guessing the goal is just to help as many as people as possible. And when you realize y'all hit capacity, y'all start expanding more and more, and also offering more services to women in the Montgomery County area.
Right, and it's not just for women. We have men also.
That's true.
Who come to. We have professional counseling. It's just we want to serve the community.
Yes.
And we can do that because of the generosity of the community. So at this banquet, it's unbelievable, the people who show up and support us. And right now we have about 760 people coming to our banquet.
760 people?
Yes.
So they should all bring at least $20.
At least.
At least $20. That's the goal. No, let's up it. Let's say 50.
Yeah.
Probably more.
We've seen lots more.
Yeah. Well, no, I always make that joke when it's like, oh, we're going to have, if like you're sitting in the Toyota Center, I was like, imagine if everyone here just brought $5 and donated it to something. So
Exactly.
But I think it's a great, it has a good impact on the community. Since y'all been here since 89, y'all gone from under 1,000 to serving 7,000.
Yes, but PACN has actually been here since 1987.
Oh, wow.
I've been here since 89 in the Woodlands area.
Well, what I like about that, and you don't have to take so much, I don't know, compliments about it, but you're part of the growth. And that's really neat, Cindy. That's really neat. And this event, I mean, like, if you want more information about this event, I'm guessing there's two primary ways. Are y'all on Facebook?
We are. And
because I know a lot of people are on Facebook and they go and they always put the events up. And I know a lot of people, that's where they search for their events. Or you can go to www.pacncommunity.org. There's a little link that says for their spring banquet. There's different ways. You have several events anyway.
We do.
Besides just this.
Yes.
So I'm on your website right now and I'm just checking out what's going on. And after this, y'all have a Southwest Regional Medical Conference?
Yes, for our nurses, and it is regional. So we have nurses coming in for this training from Oklahoma and all over the region.
And then I know last year the superhero flight to the finish, was that a 5K or what was that?
Last year we changed it to a 3K walk.
Okay.
And this year we will have it again on November 8th. There'll be more twists and turns to it, so it's a time for everyone to dress up and come out. And then before that y'all have an Aim for Life. Yes.
You have a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, well, that's how we get our funding.
That's cool.
We like to have fun doing it.
And all this stuff, like I said, you can find on PACNcommunity.org. They have so many. Y'all have way too much information on here. This is great.
Good.
I'm just lost in it. But so that the banquet's coming up in
March 28th.
March 28th, and you can reserve your seat to hear Jay Suckaloo and also meet the fantastic people who are involved with the PACN. Now, y'all have volunteers too, right?
Over 130 on a weekly basis.
So is there room to grow with that? Like, say, if I want to volunteer, what do I need to do to volunteer?
Well, you would go on our website, and, and it shows you the different volunteer opportunities. Or, again, you could call 936-441-7755.
And just like Lone Star Internet Radio, your phone number's at the top right of every page.
Yes.
It's important to do that.
Good. So. Yes. And we have so many volunteer opportunities. Some you would have to go through training, some you do not. So if you go online, you'll be able to see where you fit in.
Yeah, I'm on there right now, and there's a little tab called volunteer, and they have all of their options right here. Really easy to navigate through. And especially if you have trouble, you can just call this phone number really quickly. And also, conveniently, there's a make a donation button too. So if you're feeling like donating today, visit pacncommunity.org, and there's a donation button if you can't make the banquet coming up.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whoever did your website knows what they're doing, because everything's easy for me. This is great. I mean,
Glad to hear
I
it.
like easy websites. So, but yeah, thank you so much, Cindy, for coming in. And if there's anything else you want to talk about before we go back to more music on Mornings with Lone Star, now's your chance.
I just hope people will show up for the banquet and enjoy a lovely evening and a fun evening.
Yeah, I mean, do you know who the jazz band duo is, or is it just like what kind of jazz is it? Is it swing jazz? Do you know?
It's almost like Kenny G jazz.
Okay. That's good. That's easy listening.
Yes, it is easy listening, and it's before the dinner and through the dinner, so it's
you can't rock
people
out.
People aren't going to be dancing.
That stinks. No, she can't. Well, that's fun. Thank you so much for coming in. If you, like I said, if you want more information, you're just now tuning in. I'm hanging out with Cindy of the PACN. That's Pregnancy Assistance Center North. They're talking about their banquet coming up March 28th, 2014 at the, the Marriott?
The Woodlands Waterway Marriott.
Woodlands Waterway Marriott. And they're having Jay Suckaloo, who's the main speaker.
Absolutely.
And I do know one of our hosts from Aperture and Shutter Speed is going to be there. I know that, Tom Moore.
Yeah.
So he's going to be there. Yeah, we do a show together on every Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Oh,
and he always wants to talk about this. And I'm like, we're talking about photography. And I got to tell you the story. So I imagine people are going to want to have their photo taken of Jay Suckaloo.
Yes, they do.
And I'm a big fan of Comic-Cons. You ever heard of like events called like Comic-Cons and things like that? And you can go there and pay money to take pictures. And I was like, can you imagine like thousands of people wanting to take a picture with you? I don't know if I could hold a smile for that long.
Right. And
I told him what one person did who was a photographer there. He collected all the photos of one of the actresses and made like a 2-minute real fast showing the pictures, and her smile never changed, but it was all the people around her changed.
Oh.
And it was and after like the 400th shot, I was like, man, it's kind of depressing. But I try to encourage Tom to bring some funny jokes or something for people to get more comfortable, especially for Jay. I mean, because actually that's what our topic is portrait photography.
Okay.
And how to make the subject more comfortable. Is coming up on this Wednesday, and
well, he does a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, he's good at that. So I was like, you gotta keep that mentality, because I don't think a lot of people do when you're dealing with a lot of the same pictures. We call it machine gun shooting, and I'm like, you gotta get especially the guy you're taking of, you gotta get him comfortable where he's not just sitting here like, all right, come on, next, let's go.
And it is quick. So, I mean, they go up there, get a picture, they're hurried off, and. Yes, people. I know at Comic Cons, people love taking pictures with these people because it's like it's their main guy. I mean, I wouldn't mind a picture. Exactly.
With the captains, I wouldn't mind that at all. That'd be cool. But no. So there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of fun. It sounds like at this banquet.
It is going to be a lot of fun, and it is every year. But we just tend to keep topping every year. Don't know who we'll have next year, but boy, would take suggestions.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know President Clinton. I don't really know who I mean, this guy's pretty personable. Like he's a radio host, so he's going to be a good speaker.
Radio host. And our past speakers have been Rick Santorum and Governor Mike Huckabee and Jeb Bush. And so, every year it's.
I'm thinking the Dalai Lama. You should see if you can get. I don't know if he even speaks. I think he just makes appearances.
Yes, but he makes you very calm in not speaking.
Well, I always like that because the Dalai Lama's here. It's like, well, what's he gonna do? Just bow his head to me? Like I don't. But apparently he's a one-on-one kind of person.
Well, it gives you a chance to be his thought bubble.
Yeah, exactly. But again, Cindy, thank you so much. And I want to thank the Pregnancy Assistance Center North for coming in today. Y'all always welcome here at Lone Star Internet Radio. Again, if you want more information, PACNcommunity.org is the place to go, especially for the Spring Banquet coming up March 28th, 2014 at the Woodlands Waterway Marriott. And you can reserve your seat. Jay Suckler will be speaking. You can have your picture taken with him by Tom Moore of Aperture and Shutter Speed, which I know everybody wants that to happen. I think that would be great if someone got there and it's like, I don't really care about you, Jay. This is this guy right here, Tom. I want to talk to Tom. That would be great.
That could happen.
Yeah, it could. We got great music coming up on Mornings of Lone Star. The Mark and Cindy Show, they're going to have a special guest. They have Rick Sellers in the studio. He is in the play with Mark at Inherit the Wind, which I believe opens up this weekend. I believe it does. So that's going to be a good show starting at 10 o'clock. Following Mind Your Business with Cassandra Ocean of the Greater Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. She has two great guests coming in. More information about who's coming in for that show will be right after these messages and a couple songs. We got Wade Bone coming up, Cyrus James, Green River Ordinance, but here's some Shy Blakeman, Crying in Your Sleep, featuring Miranda Lambert. You're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.